Everybody, and welcome to Storm Reads. Today I'm going to be doing kind of a September wrap up, but not like all the books. I'm just really going to wrap up the Magical Readathon and series September, and then talk about a couple of my 5-star reads that I had. That way, if you want to see any of the other ones that I read, or you want more information on these books, you can always check out my weekly wrap ups that I have. And if I remember, I'll post them in the cards or down below. But I just wanted to kind of just concentrate more on the readathons in my wrap up this for September. So that's what I'm going to do. So anyway, I'm going to talk about 2 out of the 3 5-star reads that I had, because one of the 5 stars is in one of my readathons. But I just wanted to kind of highlight my favorite books. So the first one I have is Enjoy the View by Sarah Morgenthaler, and this one is number 3 in Moose Springs series, and I just really enjoy this series. It's really cute, fluffy, contemporary. It's really fun. It makes me laugh, and if a romance book can make me chuckle and just, I feel like I'm having a really good time and I just really enjoy hanging out with the characters, then I decided it needed a 5-star. So there we go. And yeah, it's just cute. I recommend this whole series. There's 3 books out so far, and I can't wait till the next one comes out. And I hope the next one is about Ash, because I like her. Then the other one I have is Cajun Kiss of Death. And this one is by Ellen Byron. And sadly, it is the 7th and last book in this series. And it's one of my favorite series, and so I'm really sad. But anyway, yeah, I really enjoyed this series. I love this one. I really liked how she knew that she was going to be wrapping the series up, and so she wrapped it up really well. It's the first time I think I've ever had a cozy mystery series that wrapped up like this one did, and I really enjoyed it, and I gave this one 5 stars. And you just really need to read this series because it's really good. It's set in Cajun territory, so you should check it out because it's really cool. And I mean, you've got Gopher here. What's not to love? So the first readathon I'm going to talk about is the Magical Readathon. This is hosted by G from Book Roast. She put on this really elaborate readathon. I mean, she is super talented. I'll link her down below. You should go check out her channel. She come up with this whole like fantasy place all on her own, and she had somebody make up some even artwork for it, and it's just super cool. And the first readathon we have is just to kind of introduce us to the characters and or the places and things like that, and just kind of have fun. So we followed this map, and it was called the Novel Path, and each point had a different thing we were supposed to do. And so the first one is the Novel Path entrance, and it was to read a book with a map. And so for that, I read The Box in the Woods by Maureen Johnson. And this is the 4th book in the Truly Devious series. And I gave this one 4 stars. I really enjoyed it. It was different than the first 3 because this kind of branched Stevie out into different territory, which was kind of cool. And so, yeah, there's that one. So the next one was the Ashtorn Tree, and we were supposed to read a book that keeps tempting us, or it was at the top of our TBR pile. And I had heard so many people talk about this series on Killing Time with Cozy, so I had to give it a try. And so this was Murder with Peacocks by Donna Andrews. It's the first book in the Meg Langslow series. And I enjoyed it. It did have a lot of things going on in it, but overall it was enjoyable, and I gave it 3 stars. Then the next one is The Mist of Solitude. For this one, I read They Never Learn by Lane Fargo, and sadly, I did not enjoy this one too well. I had this one as an e-arc from Galley Books. It came out last year, and I was really hoping to like it, but there was just things in it that just wasn't for me. I think a lot of other people would enjoy it, just not for me. So I give it 2 stars. The next one is Rune of the Sky, and it is to read a book that has a ghost or a haunted house or some kind of supernatural being in it, or element. So I read Ghost Girls by Malenico. Hopefully I'm saying that right. Anyway, this one was really good. I liked it. It was fun. It's middle grade. about a girl who learns that she can speak to ghosts, and uh, this one girl over here being mean to her, kind of a bully, called her Ghost Girl, and it kind of stuck. And so, yeah, so it was cute. I gave it 4 stars. So the next one was Obsidian Falls, and it was to read a mystery or a thriller. So I went with All the Devils Are Here by Louise Penny. This is number 16 in the Chief Inspector Gamache series. Overall, I enjoyed this one probably more than I have a couple of the last ones that I've read from this author. I give it 4 stars, which is good. I think I gave the last couple ones maybe 3. This one, I think I liked it because they were in Paris, so they were in a different place. And so he wasn't really, even though he's still like the Chief Inspector Gamache, he's not like in his element because the Paris police don't really care for Quebec police. And so they were kind of snubby to him. So he kind of had to work with them a little and stuff like that to get this, solve the crime. So I just kind of liked it a little bit better. So the next one is Tower of Ruination, and that was to read a book that you thought you would give 5 stars to. Now, I don't do like 5-star predictions or anything like that, so I just went with a book that I knew I really, really wanted to read, so I figured I would probably give it 5 stars. But you never know, even though you think you're going to, if it's going to be as good as the other books in the series. So I was hoping, and I was correct. So I gave this one here, Murder at the Royal Botanic Gardens by Andrea Penrose, 5 stars. I really enjoyed this one. This is the 5th book in the Rexford and Sloane series, and even though it kind of had a finality kind of feel to it, I hope it's not the last book, but I won't know until I notice if there's going to be any more books coming out or not. But this does catch me up, at least on the series. And yeah, this one is about Lord Rexford and Charlotte Sloane, and they have kind of a unique friendship at the beginning that grows, and I can't really say too much about this one without spoiling some of the stuff from the previous ones, but I really did enjoy it a lot, and so 5 stars. Then the last book I needed to read was for the Aurelium Academy arc, and that was to read a book with a school setting. And so I read The School Between Winter and Fairyland by Heather Fawcett. And this one you probably heard me talk about most recently if you watched a reading vlog that I did. And I liked this one. I gave it 4 stars. It was cute. Did I give it 4 stars? I can't remember if I gave it 3 or 4 stars, but I did like it. I think it was more like a 3.75 kind of thing, or 3.5, that I would probably bump up to 4 stars. But yeah, I don't remember. But yeah, this one has, the school is called the Inglebrook School. It's for magicians. Our main character is not a magician, and she doesn't actually go to the school, but she does get to go into the school. She is a beastkeeper, and so she does have interactions with the school, so I was counting it. Because it does have a school, even if they're not in it for a school setting, I'm still there. So the next readathon that I need to wrap up is the series September readathon. And this one is hosted by Krista from Books and Jam, and I believe Sarah from Sarah's Nightshade. I forgot to put them down. Or Nightstand. Sarah's Nightstand. Yeah, something like that. Anyway, I'll link their channels down below. And so the first one on here was to read a book in a series you haven't touched in a year. So that one is The Devil's Workshop by Alex Cretian. Again, if you watched my current reading vlog that I have up, you heard me talk about this one because I barely got it in. It was crunch time, but I did get it finished. And it was not my favorite one in the series. This one's about Inspector Day and Sergeant Hammersmith. It's set in, I believe, the 1890s, so it's a historical mystery about around the time when Jack the Ripper and stuff was around, and it does have a bit of Jack the Ripper type stuff in here. And it just wasn't my favorite one. I gave it 3 stars, but I did enjoy it, and I can't wait to get to the next one because of some things that happened at the end of this one. So that just makes me want to bump the next one up. So I'm hoping maybe in November to get to it. But yeah. Okay, so the next one was to read a book in a most recent series that you've read, and well, the book I had for this I DNF'd. But I did read like 40% of it, so I'm gonna count it kind of. It was the Stabbed in the Baklava by Tina Cashian, and yeah, it was number 2 in the series, and I just didn't vibe with it, so I just DNF'd it. And it was kind of funny because when we talked about this one in Killing Time with Cozy's live, it had a really big mix of people that did enjoy it and people that didn't, so I didn't feel so bad about not liking it. The next one I have is, it says a book that, to start a series. So read a book to start a series. And so for that one, I have Delphine and the Silver Needle by Alyssa Moon. This is the first book in Delphine and the Silver Needle. It's a long title. And this is about the mice that live in the castle or around the castle, and a little seamstress mice, and it's kind of around the whole Cinderella kind of story and everything. And it was cute. I give it 4 stars. I can't wait to see what happens with Delphine, and I believe his name is Alex. He's a little royal mouse, and he's just really cute. He was funny because he thought he was going to be like the savior and watch out for her and save her, and she ends up saving him quite a bit, so it was funny. So the next one was to finish a series, and for that one I have Farewell My Cuckoo by Marty Wingate. It's the last book in the, I can't remember what it's called. Does it say on here? Oh, it does. Birds of a Feather series. I believe there was only like 4 books in this series, so it was a short one by her. And so yeah, this, I've been needing to read it for a long time. This one finishes it up. I believe I gave it 4 stars. I should have wrote these down because I can't remember from when I read these. But yeah, I think I gave it 4 stars. It's either 3 or 4, but I think it was 4. I don't remember. Anyway, it's finished. I can't remember anything about it, but it's finished. Should make better notes to look at because I can't remember anything. Anyway, moving on. The next one was to read a book in a duology, and I didn't do that one because I didn't have a duology that I was working on to work on, so I just didn't do it. So the next one was to read a book in a series that is longer than 5 books. So for that one, I read Spy School's Secret Service. And this is by Stuart Gibbs, and it's number 5 in the Spy School series. This one has been going undercover in the White House, and things do not go very well for him. And yeah, it was cute. I gave it 3 stars. It's a really kind of a solid like 3-star series. It has some really cute stuff and some really silly stuff, but overall it's fun. So the next one was to read the second book in a series. And so I read Shelved Under Murder by Victoria Gilbert, and this is the second book in the Blue Ridge Library series. And I gave it 3 stars because I think I couldn't remember the characters very well, so I felt like I jumped in the middle of something and didn't know exactly anything about the characters because it'd been a long time. I could have used this one for the read a book that you haven't touched in a year because it's been a while. So I'm hoping like the next one, you know, I read, well, I'll get more into it. But I did enjoy it. I gave it 3 stars. It had a lot going in it. We had art thieves and murders and all kinds of stuff. It was pretty interesting overall. It's just parts of I just didn't really vibe with the characters too much, I think. So 3 stars. So the next one is to read 2 books in the same series, and so for that one I read Spy School Secret Service, and then Spy Schools Go South. These covers crack me up sometimes. This one has been, he had to, Murray is like his nemesis, and he wouldn't talk to anybody but Ben. He wanted he wants to get a lenient sentence, and he would only talk to Ben, and he would show Ben where the evil spider's lair is, but only if he could take Ben with him. So Ben has to go, and then they end up, because of some things, crashing and have to kind of make their way through, and we're on their way to like Mexico, and yeah, try to take down the evil spider and survive whatever was going on. Like I said, 3 stars. Kind of a fun series. So the next one was to read your newest purchase, and that was part of a series, and I didn't get this one done. I was reading, oh, it's over there, and I don't want to get it, but it's the Case of the Gilded Fly, I think that's what it was called, by Edmund Crispin, and I just wasn't vibing with the writing style, so I'm still working on it. I read like a couple of pages a day. I'm still working on it, but yeah, I didn't get it finished in time for this. I think if I would have known that it was gonna be such a hard for me to read, maybe I would have started at the beginning of September, and maybe I would have been able to make it through it. Yeah, but I think I'm only just now like halfway through it, so probably not. But you know, anyway, so I did most of it, so that's pretty decent. I think I did pretty good overall, especially since I did read other books during the month, not just the ones for the readathon. So have any of you read any of these books? Do you have any opinions on this book? Just no spoilers. Go ahead and chat me up in the comments, and I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe, and I'll see you all in the next video. Bye.